welcome to Work the Left Side. I'm not introduced. I am joined by this week Josh Galla. The man is tearing it up over at Wrestle Island. Last week's episode, obviously, we had Supersonic Sammy Blue on. He name dropped Josh, and yes, he is here with us this week. So, how are you doing, mate? You good?
Hi, I'm good. Yeah. Hello. Hi. Yeah. All good. Yeah. As mentioned, Josh was on it last week as well. A little friend of mine, got to know him over the last few months as well. Yeah. Must have been a good listen.
We'll just jump straight in there. Then, obviously, you're both training at the Temple. Obviously, connections with Wrestle Island. We was talking before I hit record, just get a bit of information. You sort of said, you've been doing it for about a year now. I'll get the generic stuff out of the way. Why? What made you think, I want to start doing this? Was it quite local to you? Are you I know Sammy has to travel for a few hours, to get where he's going. Obviously, based on your accent, I'm thinking you're a little bit closer.
Yeah, I'm a little bit closer. Yeah. I live across the water though. I live in Crosby, in Liverpool. Birkenhead's just over the water. It takes me about an hour and a half to get there, but it's not that far compared to himself. So yeah.
But it's still farther, man. I thought it would have been like 10 minutes away or something.
Oh, I hope. Yeah. But it's like over the water, and that there's training's not really that local. There's a lot of shows. Really, I've noticed more so. You'll find like Southport, Ormskirk, and then Birkenhead. There's loads of places, but there's not as much training.
Yeah.
I understand his struggle as well.
But I suppose, Sammy says, it's well worth the travel kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, what made you want to do this? Have you always been a fan? Were you been at a young age, or is it something you've just recently gotten into?
Since I think I was born, all I can remember as well was wrestling, because my dad's always liked wrestling, so he kind of brought me up watching it with him, and I just obviously liked it from then. Always watched it, and found out there was training about a year ago, and I was like, do you know what? It's something that I want to do, so let's get into it and work hard and see where it goes.
Nice. Yeah. Obviously, it's a good time to be involved. I think British wrestling is on the rise. There's loads of promotions out there. There's loads of training sort of things, there's seminars. So I think you've picked a very good time to get involved. So was Wrestle Island the first school on the list, or have you been to a few? Did you check them out? How did you sort of pick one?
I've been to a couple. Wrestle Island's my main one, and it has been near enough since the start. But I started off at Future Shock. The had a beginner's course I saw online. That was the first thing that I really saw. So it was that I had to travel to Manchester every Saturday for a few weeks, because I didn't know there was any that local to me. And then a friend from there suggested, well, there's one in Birkenhead, Wrestle Island. So I hit them up in that, and then ever since then, every Sunday I'm at Wrestle Island, and then alternating Saturdays between Future Shock and Wrestle Island, yeah.
Nice. So you're still dipping the toes in at Future Shock as well, then? So you got a bit of both.
Yeah, that's a bit more, because that's about 3.5 hour journey, because I don't drive, so it's a lot easier to get to Wrestle Island. So it's very sporadic going to Future Shock, but I still do go there every now and again.
Yeah, well, that's cool, because I think it's like anything. If you kind of dip your toes into other areas as well, you can learn different things. It's just, it sort of widens your experience. So, and Future Shock, I know a few people that have gone there and that train there, that teach there, and it's a stupidly good school kind of thing. They're so talented. I know they recently did an exchange thing with Pursuit up here from Sheffield.
Oh, yeah, saw that. Yeah, with Leon Slater, was it? Liam Slater.
Yeah. Sam Bailey came up to Sheffield and vice versa kind of thing. So. But yeah, obviously Lizzie, I think, is a coach at Future Shock as well occasionally.
He's my main one of Saturday. If I ever go there, he's there, and he did the beginner's course. So yeah, I've known him over here. Great trainer.
Yeah. Nice. So Wrestle Island though, because obviously the Sammy connection from last week.
Yes.
Is it a good group? Is everybody really supportive of each other? Do you are you helping each other get better? Because I think as one person gets better, that elevates the next person.
Oh, I do believe so. Yeah, quite. I really agree with this point there. Yeah. So I started with, like, obviously in a novice class, and I had it in my head I could do like advanced classes myself, right? So obviously I kind of was with the same group in novice and advanced, and I felt working with them helped me get up there as well. And the groups are near enough the same as well, and everyone's like getting up quite quick. So since I started, there's a couple like Joel, Bernard, who were in the novices classes and recently been getting pushed up. But the more they've been working with people with the advanced still going to novice, to help them come up as well. I believe it's helped them, especially myself as well. So
Yeah.
Great group, great people, and we're all, like you say, elevating because of that.
Nice. Obviously, Sammy had lots of nice things to say about Sean, Mr. Sean Only, obviously.
Yeah.
How do you find, with him barking orders at you and running you through drills and whatnot?
I love the guy. It's been about a year, like I say, right? And yeah, I didn't really know British wrestling, and it was like with Sam Bailey and Sean Only. I went in. I thought they were part of the training group, so I knew Sean was the head teacher there. But it was I got there and I felt quite rude, but he was really warm, accepting there. And ever since then, he's been a great trainer to me. Always available on like Messenger as well. Give me advice if I need to talk about something or something doesn't seem right. Let's go over it on Sunday. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone better to coach me. Great guy.
No. But yeah, Sean is top guy. I've obviously followed him for years. With him being in Leeds, I've seen him at like Tidal, True Grit, various other promotions, around the area kind of thing. So yeah, I'd say he's probably one of the best guys to learn from, because he's always memorable at shows. If you've seen Sean Only at a show, you kind of walk away and you remember that you've seen him.
Yeah.
So,
6'5", isn't he? Big muscle guy. It's hard to miss him.
Yeah, he's definitely stomping heads into the curb kind of thing. So he's definitely got he's memorable for sure. But also, before we start recording, you said you've got a booking this Saturday.
I do.
Where's that?
Yeah, it's at Stockport Plaza. Tag team match. So I'm with another guy I train with, great wrestler, and Billy O'Keefe. He's someone who's like kind of helped me along the way, and then we're against Lance Rivera and Ethan Walsh, who is again someone I train with, close friends. So that'll be an interesting one as well. Nice little work.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Lance is one of those names. I mean, he came up last week as well. Lance is one of those names that I think over the next 12 months he's going to just start popping up in so many more places.
Yes.
Obviously, the dude was awesome at Wrestle Island. This match against RPD was quality.
Yeah.
If you're in a tag match against him, dude, you must be doing something right. 1 year in.
See, I thought that to myself when I saw the match. I was like, read the message, and I was like, oh, so you're against Ethan and Lance Rivera? And I was like, hang on a minute, I've done a pre-show match and I've done a little bit run-ins. I was like, I don't think I'm ready for it. But then I was like, help me carry through, have the right frame of mind, work hard, and the nice guys, they'll help me through it, and we'll put on a good show. Yeah.
Definitely. Tag matches as well. Obviously, from fans' perspective, I don't know if I'm wrong in saying this, but do you think, being in a tag match, that will help you being able to you can kind of study it as well as being involved in it? Because obviously when you're not involved in the action, you're very close to the action, watching what's going on, and it will help you sort of break it in slower.
Yeah, to a point. I would say that is the case. Yeah, hanging out on the outside, but again, I'm a fan myself, so I'll end up enjoying it a bit too much, maybe get a bit carried away, and that's the thing. But yeah, you can put it that way.
Yeah. Just don't want you missing the hot tag match just because you're still on the ringside and just enjoying the show and forgetting that you're in a tag match and you'd be like, I missed the tag.
Yeah.
I'm sure that won't happen. No, I'm not going to jinx you. That definitely won't happen. So you've got that booking this weekend. But I mean, going forward, obviously you train at Wrestle Island. As I sort of mentioned with Sammy last week, the long term, not even the long term plan, the short term plan within the next year or two, you've got to be eyeing up the Wrestle Island cards, being like, look, there's got to be a place for Josh Galla on there somewhere at some point.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. I get frustrated when I'm not, but I know that's a bit in my head. I have started a year ago. I need to understand my place as well, and it's something I've learned over the last year or so as well. You got to be ready in that, but then there's still that hunger, and on show day when I'm not on it, it's always a bit of a feeling where I'm not too happy. But
Yeah.
again, I know and understand, and we'll progress, improve, and then we'll see where we go from there.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though. I think that if you can use that as a good thing, can't you? Because if you're disappointed you're not on it, that's human. You know what I mean? I would be like disappointed, be like, but there's always other reasons. You're not on it because you're not any good. It's probably for numerous other reasons, and you'll be on the show kind of thing. But it'll give you that determination to be like, look, okay, maybe I'll try a little bit harder, even though as I say, it's nothing to do with ability, but it might give you that drive.
That's exactly what I think the case is. I always look forward to the next show, and if not been on it the week before, I'm working even harder for the next one. And I feel like it's the right mentality to have as well. But again, it's good that I'm hungry for it, and it's good I'm sticking in it as well. Like you said, I don't think it's ability. I think it's something where there's other factors, and it's all good. Got a good relationship with the promoters, and it's all good.
Yeah. Well, that's it. There's only so many matches on a card. Traditionally, I would always kind of say 8 matches on a card. Give or take a couple either way, kind of thing. But yeah, there's only so many slots. There's only so many stories to be told. It's like I don't know, the football analogy. Sometimes it's a squad. I kind of see Wrestle Island as being a massive squad of talent. Okay. So if you're not used this time, you'll be used next time, or if you're on the subs bench this time, you'll start the next match.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it. But then we're hoping with that star player one day as well, aren't we? So we'll crack on, try and be that.
So, I mean, obviously, I'm a massive mark for Wrestle Island. I love the stuff they put on YouTube. I love the shows they put on. Never got to witness the show in person yet, but I will, hopefully, fingers crossed, make it over one day. Yeah, man, just the atmosphere looks electric, It
is, it's a good crowd. It usually fills the seats as well. It's a good place to be. Nice ring, nice everything, and people who really work for the show as well. It's great, nice atmosphere, like you say, nice bar, nice food, and it's it's a good day out.
Well, that's it, and that's what wrestling should be. You just, especially if you're traveling. For the locals, it's great because you can just rock up and go to the show. But yeah, if I'm traveling a few hours, like I said, it's a nice day out. Make a day of it. It's a very fun show. And you're definitely going to go home satisfied. It's not going to be a wasted journey. Same logic is obviously when you travel to training, you're going to get what you paid for, kind of thing.
100%, yeah. The training's fun as well, to be fair as well. Like, I'm always enjoying it as well. Whether it be Island, Future Shock, or I've even been to that one it's Barracks. I think it's now New Wave Academy. I've been there once before. That was for a Nigel McGuinness seminar. That was good. So there's always good training, always fun to do. Wrestling is in general. Yeah.
How did you find the Nigel McGuinness seminar then? Because that must have just been like a wave of information just coming at you.
It was found on a story from one of my friends, Ethan, and the one wrestling this weekend actually. Clicked on it, saw it, and then I thought to myself, we'll have to get down there then. Someone we've seen on Ring of Honor and that, and it was a nice day, great day. Nervous as hell, but that was what it was. Yeah.
Did you? Was it just kind of a sit and listen to him talk seminar, or did get hands on? Obviously, he's got an injury, so I'm presuming he didn't do too much in the ring, but I'm guessing he was able to guide you around.
That's exactly what happened. So we broke down like the 7-match structure as well. He had a different way of doing it to what I've been taught in ways as well. But he's like the American way, like the English way, and then wanted to do a bit of wrestling, show me new wrist lock. It was quite a lot of us, but he got through it quite well. It was a great day, and it's I felt like I learned a lot from it myself.
Nice. What's the 7-match breakdown?
Oh, so it's like the structure of the match. So it's start with like the establishment, right. Like the good guy, bad guy, or the characters, and then he gets into the match, tells the story all the way through, get to your finish, and there's so many parts in between as well. It's a bit
okay.
I was put on the spot then. It's all the things are getting around me, but yeah.
So just like the kind of psychology and stuff there.
Oh yeah.
how to work a match, how to So it's like you sort of said, a good match should have a clear start, that middle point. I don't know, like the underdog, coming back, working from under, and then the last 5 minutes, kind of the finish.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and it's good fundamental to tell a good story, and if you always stick to it, you can't go wrong. I believe so. Yeah, so it's great.
That's what I kind of wanted to pick. So I like talking to guys that have kind of just only been around for a year or 2 years, because obviously you're fresh, but also they sort of say psychology. Some people have it, some people don't. Some people care about it, some people don't. And but is that something that you kind of pick up in training? Do they teach you obviously the foundations of the moves, but then also how to tell a story? How do you teach somebody how to tell a story?
I feel like it develops over time, the more advanced you get, because I feel like you have to learn to wrestle at least first, to put on maybe a training match, let's say, and then as soon as you're competent enough to get in a ring, you can do a few wrist locks, maybe headlocks, bit of grappling. You learn a couple moves. You can plan kind of spots as well, and you kind of got to that point. You can then kind of learn yourself, I believe, to get through it with it making more sense, whether it be like you learn to sell. You learn yourself how you feel comfortable in a ring, where you are in a ring, and then you kind of get to put through. And then over the course of time, you'll learn at what point you should be, where are you, and then what move should happen when it won't look silly to do it, and when it'll look right and feel right. And I feel like that's how it develops, more so over time than anything.
Oh, definitely. It's something that, with experience comes wisdom, and comes second nature kind of thing.
Yeah. 100%. I feel like it can be a bit too much if you just go straight away, right, this is what you do first, this is what you do second, all the way to 7, and then you're like, okay, where does that go? What happens there? And is this right to do it now? Exactly. Yeah.
Your head's just got to explode, and it's just right. I mean, let me just learn steps 1 and 2 first. Let me get them down. Then I'll move on to 3. Then I'll move on to, Or let me just figure out the start and the end. And then when I get more confident, I'll work on the middle bit.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. And obviously the finish is always going to be the most fun, where you can hit your biggest moves, and everyone's going to be like, right, I want to do this at the end, I want to do this, I want to do this. But then there's also the middle bit you need to learn and start as well, and make it all competent and nice. Yeah.
So obviously when you're getting into it, obviously you're learning, do you start training thinking, right, I'm going to be a high flyer, or I'm going to be a technician, or I'm going to be a ground and pound kind of guy? Or do you just start training and see what feels natural?
I believe you have an idea of what you want to be, but you're not going to be it. Because I always felt like when I watched wrestling when I was younger, you'd always want to be Shawn Michaels, but then it'd be more realistic for maybe someone like me to maybe be like The Miz or something like that. Like, you just want to get the moves right, you want to do it right, you want to do it right, tell the right story, maybe be good on the mic and learn through it that way. And they were obviously my favorites growing up. So it's, when I look at them like that, it's kind of develop in certain ways, and you find out what more so will be right for yourself, because you might not be built for what you want to be. So you've kind of got to go the route you've got to be.
So, hang on, just rewind a quick second. It's obviously you mentioned Shawn Michaels, you mentioned The Miz, and then you mentioned my favourites. So are you a Miz fan?
Oh, I am. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow. You're a selective bunch, or sort of say. I know many people that will big up the Miz. It seems to be, if you're a Miz fan, you would you die on that stone. You will defend the high heavens kind of thing. I've got people I know that just freaking hate the guy and just do not like him at all. I'm just on the fence. I just kind of like, the dude's made a living out of it for so many years. He must be doing something right.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the people who are obviously fighting against it, who don't like him, he must be doing his job well, mustn't he?
Yeah. It's, I don't know, man, because there's kind of like that. There's genuine heel heat, and then there's just dislike sometimes. I think it's a thin line. It's like what they used to call X-Pac heat. Where it's just, it wasn't genuine, like, oh, we're going to boo him because he's a heel. It's just, we're just going to boo him because we just don't like him kind of thing. And but I think there's that applies to a lot of people. The Miz is definitely the one that springs to mind. It's very Marmite basically.
Oh yeah. I would imagine so. Yeah.
But the dude works smart. I'll give him that. The dude works very smart, which I think sometimes has been a counter argument against him. you know, he's just not overly excitable or X, Y, and Z. But said he's pretty much had an unscathed career. If you can work as smart as him, you know, go for it. I think you're doing something right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And as hard as him as well. I feel like working hard and smart, as you say, you know, you're never going to go wrong.
But yeah, and obviously Shawn Michaels. It's Sammy showed me his little Heartbreak Kid tattoo that he's got on his arm last week.
I saw it, like the little red one with the white, and it's like, it's a nice little tattoo. That, yeah. I like a football shirt that he has, like the cross, and it's like black and white. And yeah, nice little shirt, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen a few of them at wrestling shows. I don't know if it's Black Label or Blacksmiths or something like that.
Yeah. Did you like Bret Hart ones as well? I've noticed. Yeah. Same one, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It's got like the silhouette of the pose, I think, on the back at the top or something.
Yes, yeah, and like little gold. Yeah, it's a nice shirt. Yeah.
Ah, nice, good man. But yeah, obviously Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, like sort of said, just anybody like that you can sort of look at. So, right, get back to my original question then. So when you
sorry.
No, it's fine. It's my fault, man. I sidebarred. You know, I started going off on about the Miz, so it's not your fault, dude. But yes, obviously you go into it. Did you go in then thinking you was going to be like a high flyer dude, or you know, did you want to do the technical thing like a Bryan Danielson or a Regal or something like that?
I want to be a bit powerful. I want it to be small but explosive. Like I don't think mini Brock Lesnar's a way of saying it, but more of it. I'm only like what 5'11" am I? So the high flying stuff scares me a bit.
I'm trying to think of more. I mean, I don't really want to say his name because I don't want to get flagged up on anything. But okay. I mean, Benoit, if you want short and explosive, like a Benoit or Guerrero is probably a better example. Minus the high flying stuff.
Yeah, but then it's going back to the high flying, like you say. It's a bit more of a going over them ropes and that, you know. I like it in form of a slam. Maybe a bit like, you know what, LA Knight maybe. Let's go there. You know, that'd be a nice one to say.
Good man, yes. I very nearly just went, yeah, but no,
it's difficult not to when you say his name.
Thing is, you don't even have to say it, you just know. Like, it's one of the, I think he's become one of those guys. I post a GIF sometimes of him just going like that. Like, you automatically know what you're saying. It just fills in the sound. But yeah, I mean, so when you're, besides training, you know, you're watching wrestling, do you watch current day stuff? Do you have like a back catalogue of stuff that you watch for study purposes? How far back does your wrestling catalogue go?
So obviously I've been watching it since I was like before I can remember. So I'd probably say from about 2005 onwards, but it's usually just WWE because I've not really dabbled at AEW. I'll watch the highlights, but I've watched all of WWE up until now. Let's say British wrestling though was something that I've only just got into when I started training about a year ago. So when I see these names like Lance Rivera, he's been doing really well over the last year. It's like I said when I got that message, it's one of them where people tell me how great someone like vets, as they say, as like Joey Hayes or Sean Only. But from what I see, from what I've started from, I've seen Lance Rivera everywhere. And you do see like the vets in that, but because they're obviously getting older and that, you don't see them as much and you don't see them in the main title fights. So when I read the text message, I thought, I'm against the guys in main events and this company, this one, and it's like, it's a bit thingy to me. So I think I'll learn it a bit more respectfully soon as well. But over the last year and that, when you see it and that, I'm catching up with British wrestling, hopefully, but it's just WWE, really.
Well, that's it, man. And plus, I mean, well, it's a question I ask a lot of people that watch wrestling and do wrestling. Obviously, since you started training, are you still able to watch it as a fan, or do you find yourself kind of drifting off and watching it and taking notes?
It depends who the person is on telly. I think if I'm really involved with the character, I care. I'm always like, I want this guy to win. I want him to do this. I want to do that. And it's always still the shock factor if something bad happens, like say Miz, LA Knight, the people I really like. I'm like, I'm going to watch it and hope they win. And then if it's a match that I'm not really that bothered about on a pay-per-view, if I'm staying up to watch it, it'll be something like, oh, let's see what's happening there and there and there. So it switches with me.
Yeah, it depends if you're invested in the match, you're still a fan. If you're not invested in it, then you can use it for study purposes.
Yeah, like I say, when like let's say I'm not on the island shows and that, and I'm sitting at the stands at the back and I'm watching it, I'll just be enjoying it. Really, again, we're all fans who do it. Otherwise, well, why are you doing it?
Exactly. I was going to sort of say, that's it. If you're obviously a fan of wrestling, because you're putting your body through it to be involved in something you love. So yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's a question I like to ask them, because some people can switch off and still just be a fan. Other people find it hard to switch off, and they find themselves just, instead of watching the match, they're watching people's feet, or they're watching somebody react to something instead. And it's just like, yeah, I can imagine it being really hard, in fairness. But as long as you've still got that enjoyment as a fan, that's got to be, that's great, because it's those like you still got that passion and just love for wrestling, not just being involved just for the actual sport itself.
Yeah, 100%. It's like something that I want to do really well at and something I want to go far with, but at the same time, I need to remember, just like football and stuff, something that I'm doing that I enjoy, and it's something that like I love in that. So, got to carry on, enjoy it always, and not get sidetracked by being too picky and perfect on things.
Yeah, man, don't let the don't let the politics or the negatives within the wrestling business get you down, kind of thing. Yeah, just stick to it, enjoy it, do what you love, and yeah, I mean the key word is enjoy it. So, but obviously you're a year in. You got the Wrestle Island shows, you got the show this weekend. Have you made the list yet of people you want to have matches against? Most wrestlers have lists at some point in their career, that they want to tick off names of. Have you made the list yet, or is it still too early?
I said made the list. It just reminds me of Chris Jericho, but being honest, there's certain people I want to wrestle. So I can imagine the list. If I could sit here and probably write one down, actually, but top of my head, there's your trainers, your teacher and that, and it's like, like Pete, Sean only is like only, he's like 43, isn't he? Not getting any younger.
Oh, I'm sure he's only like 31 or something. I'm sure he's only, yeah.
No. Looks a lot older than that. A lot older than that.
You said it's not me.
Yeah, but yeah, Susan what his 40s and that. So it's always that in my head as well. I'd love a match with him. I think the most out of anyone. Obviously my friends, obviously Ethan, but I'm getting that this weekend. It's tough because if we have to go like British wrestling, it's really tough. It's like I said, I've only been doing it a year, so my respect thing for it is gaining it because I'm just about learning about everyone. So yeah, people like Dan Evans maybe. He's taught me a couple of times at Wrestle Island. He's Scott Oberman.
Dan Bailey.
The Quinlans, Pud and Christie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's everyone. Let's just say everyone.
Everyone.
I'm gonna say every wrestler I know to this point and be like, oh, well, in my match I've got Billy. He's on my team, but maybe one day I'll be face to face with him, and then there's Lance Rivera, maybe do that one-on-one, or RPD. Anyone, everyone. Because it's just fun and I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. RPD, massive. Big friend, massive fan of his, friend of the show. Had him on like 3 times. What he's doing at the island is awesome. What he's doing as a whole, is awesome for somebody who's just got into it a few years ago, from boxer to wrestler. Do you have have you had much interactions with Ryan?
I hit him with a Falcon's Arrow on the last Wrestle Island show. To be honest with you, that was nice little interaction. And after it, obviously, friendly guy. When I'm like first went to the island shows and that, like to do ring crew, or I was doing little bits of bobs on the show. We shook my hands, said hi before I came up to him myself. He came to me. Really nice guy. And then it's great.
So you did the running as well, because obviously Sammy mentioned that he did a running. So was Sean just getting all of his boys just to do running?
Anything to do to win that title back, but he's successful. Yeah. Again. Yeah. So we called us all out. Started beating them up. Me, Sammy, Ray, Andrew, and Stan all started like punching him, beating him up. And then we all picked him up for me to hit him with a Falcon's Arrow. And I drag him over to my friend Ray, who hits him like a splash. And then he fights his way back up. And we all got punched by him. And again, boxer, really hurt, you know, right to the stomach, threw me over the top rope, and maybe I retract all them nice things I said about him.
That's awesome. But man, just being involved in that story, you know, in the main event picture, it's just awesome exposure, you know, for you, for you
great
guys.
exposure, title match, you know, you with your trainer, you with your friends, and tried to make the most of it, hit them with a big move, and you know, hopefully they remember me for it.
What was the fan reaction like? You know, did you get that buzz? Did you get the adrenaline with, you know, the electricity?
There was a lot of boos, because my brothers, because they've obviously got into it recently, they'll come to the shows and they'll still want me to do something. Even if I'm the bad guy, they'll want me to do something. They'll give it a little cheer, and just thinking in the back of my mind, just boo me, please. Boo me. Please boo me.
That's it, man. As a heel and you're getting cheered, you're like, no, I'm not doing my job right. So yeah, that kind of brings me back to like the question that I asked about, you know, when you start training and you're working, you know, you're learning styles, or you want to pick a style. Face, being a good guy, being a bad guy. When you start training, do you go in thinking I'm going to be this awesome baby face, and then you just for some reason a natural heel? Do you work sort of towards one or the other?
You have to learn both. I always wanted to be a really good baby face, but I think everyone finds it easier to be heel, I believe. You know, I think maybe there's just really nice people though that will find face easier. I'd rather be a face. I'd rather be a really strong face, because I think everyone wants to be a heel and be like away from the curve. But it's one of them where I think being a heel is a bit easier, but I'd rather be a really good baby face, and I always have, because I feel like that's, you know, you want to be at the top and you want to always have them fights and always keep beating all them challenges. And I think it's always be good being the good guy.
That's it. I mean, your classic face, you know, you'll always kind of be involved in that chase storyline. You know, you always, because to me, wrestling is always about the good guy chasing the title. I mean, when a face has got a title, it's awesome. But part of me always finds that little bit more interesting when the bad guy's got the belt and the good guy's, you know, chasing it, kind of thing, and overcoming challenges.
Yeah, I do like that. I feel like it's look at WWE now though. It's a bit of a struggle with the Roman Reigns thing to understand that, maybe for some younger people, but yeah, you know, I heard it was Hulk Hogan talking on the Tia Von's podcast as well, where about that as well. You know, I just want to, you know, be chasing that title rather than people just keeping it and it being like a little bit of a mess up. So yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'll pick your brain about. We'll sidebar a second, because I'm also interested in people's opinions. Obviously, Roman Reigns, man, has held the title for so many years now. Is it overkill? I mean, to me, I can understand them wanting to get to the 1,000 days mark, but once they hit that, should have dropped it ASAP for me.
Yeah, and no, I feel like I'm enjoying when he's in the ring. I feel like all this mess about with his cousins and that's a bit too silly. I feel like drop them off, find something a bit more appealing. I think they're just hanging on for that Rock match. And then after that, he's going to drop it to someone. And I feel like when he was talking on Pat McAfee's show that it'll probably be the next year, if not the year after, Maybe beats Bruno Sammartino, I don't know.
I think he's already beat him. I think that's why they're going for the 1,000 days or something. I'm pretty certain. You know,
he must be going for it, and no one else will ever do it though, because no one else will be happy for it to happen. I feel like.
But for me, I mean, like, yeah, again, sorry, not to be talking about you for a couple of minutes, but who can challenge Roman for the belt? You know what I mean? Like, they haven't built up a mid carder, they haven't built up a face to be a credible challenge. That's been, for me, I always thought it was going to be Riddle at some point, but obviously, you know, he's gone.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Edge. I thought the Edge. I was at Clash of the Castle for Drew McIntyre, and all up until the actual day, I didn't believe he could win it, and it was the day, and I thought he would, and I was like, that was only because I was there, though. If I was watching it at home, I would have been like, no chance, maybe. But the only other time I felt really credible he'd lose it was to Edge. Even when Cody come through, I thought he was still trying to hit the milestones.
Yeah.
So it's one of them where I just feel like, I don't know now. I don't know where it's going.
There's no mid card, or there's no just guy underneath that I think they can build to be a credible challenger at the minute. Unless they turn Walter or Gunther face at some point.
Yeah, it's tough because then people say that they're going to have the Cody Rhodes rematch, and I'm like, they've strayed too far away from it, and it's a repeat again. How do you do it right? And it's one of them where I agree. Who is there? And like you
Yeah.
say, Gunther if he's a face, but then you ruin his little reign that he's got going with the Intercontinental, which I'm enjoying a lot. I like that. That's going well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously pulling it back to yourself. Then you mentioned facing the heel thing. Yeah, you're not the first person to echo that statement. I just think it's a lot easier to get people to boo you than it is to cheer
Yeah.
you. You know, yeah, I just think working as a heel is easier than working as a face. I think people, it's a lot harder. You can't just go out and be a vanilla good boy kind of thing. People are going to boo that nowadays. So you can't just go out and wave and smile and get cheered. But you can go out and kick somebody in the nuts and get booed.
Yeah, or you can just say something to someone or just walk out differently. Whereas with a face, I think you've got to get so much more right
Yeah.
to get the one generic response, and you've got to get known for that too. And then there's people who want to cheer the bad guy as well, and I feel like you can kind of develop that way as well. But it's quite in my head. Again, I'm starting out. I'm going to try and have fun, test things out, and see where I go from there. But again, it'd be great to be a really good baby face who works hard and somehow gets to the top. But that'll change maybe in my head as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And talking of RPD, yeah, look at what he's done. The guy's probably one of the most over baby faces in the country, kind of thing. He gets that connection with the fans. The fans love him, and yeah, he's kind of got that chemistry. So I would kind of study what he does and be like, right, okay, tick tick tick. But yeah, working heel. I just think it'd just be more fun though, being a bad guy. You get to be. I presume obviously you're not a bad guy in everyday life. So you get to let go of some of your, you get to be elaborate. You get to just be a twat and paid to be a twat.
Yeah, and it's easy to say a few words, put a snarl on your face, beat someone up, and yeah, it's a lot harder to earn you've got to do little things in the ring, maybe reach out, to kind of get that nice little sympathy. But it's a combination of a lot, and I'm going to try and learn how to do that well. Try and become really good at it and be the best version of myself for it as well.
That's all you can do, dude. In all honesty, yeah, man. You just obviously, you got to be open to, so you said yourself, you got to try different things. But if certain things don't work, don't let it, get you down, kind of thing. Right, that didn't work. Put it to one side. Try something else.
Yeah.
You could have, I presume, anybody that goes into training, you've kind of got the path laid out in front of you, but you're going to get you can bend it a little bit or you can reshape it. It's not a straight line from A to B.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to go this way and then down this way maybe, and then it'll just end up being like a really squiggly line, but you'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Training's a good way, I think, to get that point across as well. Because again, people who are training, the fans as well, they want to watch shows. They might go to the shows, and it's try something else in a little training match. And if they enjoy it, they enjoy it. Like doing a tag match in training last week as the heels, and I had the baby faces and the close to their own corner about to get the tag. So I grabbed his arm and made it look like he was going to get a tag and then slammed his arm to the side. And I was like, and he didn't make the tag. And I kind of got everyone laughing and that. And yeah, you can try things out like that. That'd be a good thing for a heel. So I'll put that to the side maybe for a show one day.
Just so it gets like this close and like, no, there we go, it's gone.
Didn't make the tag, yeah.
Nice. That's talking about obviously the tag team wrestling. Something that again came up last week with Sammy. Obviously, you're working a tag match this weekend. Going forward, man, have you got an area that you think you want to? Do you want to be a single star? Do you want all eyes on you kind of thing, or do you like the idea of being part of a team and working with somebody and having those hot tag moments?
Honestly and selfishly, I think I want to be a singles, and I think everyone does because everyone wants to be the main guy and the main champ. And then, yeah, I feel like it's hard to want to share it, and that's all honest and that. So, tag's fun though. It's wrestling still, and you can enjoy it on the outside, like you said. And it's yeah, do what you want to do when you are in the ring as well. Make their moments and do everything right, and it's always fun. Always is.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, yeah, both styles of matches are very different. That, yeah, when you're in one, enjoy it. When you do it, like, yeah, if you, 80% of the time work singles, but then you get booked in a tag match, it just makes it a little bit more special, and it's different and gets you excited. It'll be something else that refills the bar of excitement up for you, kind of thing.
100%, 100%. It's still interesting to me as well, tag team wrestling. It's like, I'm not saying when I say I want to be singles, like Sarah, it's always, tag's still good. It's still what I want to do as well, and you can go far with that. And if it was to, I wouldn't complain as well. But yeah, nice changes. They're still fun as well. You get beaten up, then you can hit good moves, big moves with your friends, and that tag them in. Yeah, it's fun.
I think it's still kind of underappreciated, but I think it's definitely on the rise. There seems to be a lot of tag team matches going on at the minute in British wrestling, and a lot of very good tag teams on the up as well. So it's definitely an area that I think that's coming back.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ones, like I mentioned, Puddin Christie, the Quinlans. They're quite entertaining, quite good. They're obviously that VGS. Christie on the sides of the ring's really funny in that as well. Even if they're the heels and that, it's a good guy in that way. There's like Act 2, Synergy. There's so many like teams that are kind of getting a name in that who are quite good in that. And they're just kind of local to myself. So maybe there's more down south by yourself, or it's
we've got a few over here. We've got like Crash Bow, Misery Business, Rogan and Reese. Then it's just like I said, it's just an area now that I think is coming back in force, and it just makes for a good show. It's the diversity of a show. You have a few tag matches, a few women's matches, a few technical matches, a few flippy matches. So when you're doing the training thing, obviously they talk you through your matches. They talk you through, like you sort of said, the 7 points, the start, the middle, and the end. Do they also kind of explain the importance of just a card? The diversity of a card being, all that kind of sort of stuff.
Yeah, so it's something that Sean Only will write on his little whiteboard in the boxing rings of the boxing gym, and he'll but I'll build up the main event, the match before the main event. It's not a downer, but it's like a thingy, and there's so much like psychology to it. Like I wouldn't know unless I was in that match on the card, but I can't remember it in my head. Like, let's say when he says it, but like exciting openers and stuff like that. Like, I think on the day, if I was in that position, I'd know. But off the top of my head right now, I couldn't put a card together on that. But yeah, it's weirdly strategic and good, and if you get it right, you get it right well. The show's perfect. So yeah,
that's it. I mean, because back. Oh God, I'm going to make myself sound old, but before 2005, late 90s WWF, you could guarantee a show was a slow build. The first match was shit, second match was slightly less shit, and then they got better and better until the main event. Whereas now, that's why the curtain jerker thing was such a stigma. If you was in the first match, it's like, dude, you're doing something wrong. But now I think the first match is used to get the audience going.
Yeah,
being in the first match is awesome.
Yeah, the first match is usually a semi-main event now, isn't it? It can be a world title opener, but then you've got the main title opener, like at the end. You kind of figure out what that is throughout time and that. So imagine what in the past it was like a UFC card then, in a way, where they have like your undercard and yeah.
Very much, that's perfect, But like late 80s, you'd have like Viscera versus like some absolute job squad of talent, just builds its way up. But UFC cards, that's bang on. Basically, as the show goes on, it gets better and better and better. But now in wrestling, it starts off strong, then that sets the bar for everybody else to follow. But then that 7th match kind of has to calm the audience down so they're not burnt out for the main event. And it's all about placement and psychology.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have understood that until it was like said to me as well. Like, because if I watch like wrestling, I'd look at the shows and that, and I'm like, oh, that match was bad. That match was good. So in my head, it'd be good, bad, good, bad, bad, good, good, maybe. I don't know. And it's like that's how I view it before now. But now I'm like, oh, so they put this here to make us like this for the next match, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, they'll have a slightly slower paced match after a really fast paced match because they know the audience is going to be burnt out and just like, they want to watch it, and they've lost their voice for like 20 minutes. It's crazy, man. I just think a good wrestling show. That's another one of the reasons I like Wrestle Island. I just think, when Pete's laying out the card, he gets the matches right, and it flows. A good wrestling show is like a good album. It tells a story all the way through.
Yeah. And Wrestle Island, for example, and it caters to what the fans want as well. Like, you've got a big main event which anyone would be really into. You've got matches where it's got a lot of wrestlers, like your masked ones or whatever, where the kids will really get enjoy to it as well, and it's really good the way that I think the Wrestle Island card's built in that way. Really fun.
So, but we're talking constantly Wrestle Island, very family friendly, show, family orientated, community orientated, as we said. Going forward, do you want to kind of dip your toe into, I'm not talking death matches, but I'm talking, sort of like more adult based, sort of sure you can be a bit darker, a bit grittier, maybe swear a little bit. Could you see the Galla character going down that route?
I feel like I'd like to be on shows like that, but I don't feel like I'd want to go darker, if that makes sense. I'd want to be able to find my own way in a family-friendly way and kind of keep it going, but still cater to the people who want to watch that, which will be extremely difficult, I believe. Be a good wrestler, tell a good story, try and get the more mature audiences in watching that, but still being able to cater for the younger ones at the same time. I don't know, WWE wrestlers maybe, in a way. Because it's still a family show, and then obviously maybe that third hour, maybe they slip something in or whatever, and it's maybe we go down that route. But I don't think I want to go too far with anything like that.
I think I've kind of made it sound like it's a massive gap. It's not really. I think obviously if you're good at what you do in the ring, if you've got the foundations down, you've got the technical side down, I think the older fans will appreciate the work rate.
Oh yeah,
and you get the respect. Then you could just dial it down one notch, and it's you're family friendly kind of thing. I don't think it's a massive a gap as I kind of made out when I was first saying it, kind of thing. I think if you're very good at what you do, you can quite easily do both.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. And obviously, I'm learning as I go along, so my opinions might change on a lot of what I've said, but so far I believe in what I've said. So we'll see where we go.
Definitely. That's like I said, yeah, man, you're on early steps from a fingers crossed, like a 20-year career and in doing what you're doing kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you've got many more things to learn, many more things to do. But I remember Regal saying, I'm just a massive fan of like William Regal. I love, when he's talking about what he used to do when he got into the business, the technical side. But he said it was possible to put on a very, very good match just knowing like 3 or 4 holds or moves. You've just got to know the foundations, and then you can just build from there, basically.
Yeah, I believe especially William Regal could. I don't believe if I could do that really, but yeah, I mean, you can take your time, tell a story with these 4 moves maybe, and go far, because that's the main thing about, take your time, let the fans digest it, maybe there's a reversal, maybe into the same move, and it's every move means something, and that's where you go with it.
That's something I always like to listen out for. If somebody says it, somebody doesn't say it, but that seems to be lost in some places or on some people. I think it's a mindset that's coming back. But every move matters, or you make it count. You could hit a move and spend 60 seconds selling it, kind of thing. It matters. It means something. You don't just go from one move to the next move to the next move to the next move. Again, I'm presuming that's something Sean knows very well, and he's drilling into you.
Yeah, I get told it as well. Sometimes it'll go over my head in a training match though as well. Maybe I'll hit my power slam and then it goes straight for something again, and it's like, well, I've just wasted this. Then it's kind of simmered it down a little bit. It's still big, but it's not big as it could be. And it's something that you need to, I believe, get in my own head and get along.
Do you get told to sort of slow down then? Because I can imagine it once the adrenaline is going, you bounce back up and you just want it to do this, and this. And the most important thing you can do is just slow down.
A lot more when I first started, but I feel like in my own head, because I've watched wrestling for so long as well, and I want to do all the like little stops in between as well. I feel like that's something that you've got to tone down, and then it's all right. You know, I think my moveset's probably quite short, but I want it to feel nice and bigger than what it is. Yeah.
So if anybody doesn't know, then for future bookings, promotions, X, Y, and Z, what is the Galla style? Are you a Miz-friendly wrestler? Are you a technician? Are you a master of submissions? I know you're not a high flyer. What do you do?
Do you know what? I'm maybe not the tallest, but I'm quite strong, I'd say. You know, bit of a bruiser, maybe. You know, less of a brawler. You know, I offer that kind of like, I'll try and do anything, baby face. You know, try and overcome adversary.
That's it.
Got it out.
A shitty situation. We'll just say you're trying to overcome a shitty situation.
Yeah, that's a lot easier to say.
It's not. Trust me, I'll only say it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's it's quite short so far, but yeah, maybe I'll improve that answer soon.
There you go. Well, yeah, of course you will, man. With every session, you're going to add something, or you're going to tweak something, or something's going to get better. So, but yeah, I say it's just so many different things, you could do. Like, say, when I was just asking you then, like technician, this, that, and the other. I just thought of, sorry, I called him Pete Dunne, but obviously Butch. That kind of sort of style. I think that works really well. I just think it's amazing that guy that size is doing it on the main event.
Oh yeah, and he's looking more the part every week. I feel like he's hitting that gym a little bit more as well in between the weeks, and he fits in. Using the Money in the Bank ladder match, he's in a tag team. He doesn't look out of place. Looks great. And he's doing his thing right. And he's got his own things kind of over as well. So it's
that's it, and that's like we were sort of saying about slowing down, making something. I mean, the dude's managed to get over just holding two fingers.
Oh yeah, and he could do that for 30 seconds. Yeah, just hold it. Wait to snap it. You can wait. You can wait. It's going to come, and it happens, and everyone's kind of happy.
Yeah, that's it, man. And that's the thing. That's it. Just I love all sorts of sides of things. I love the flippy stuff. I love the high flying stuff. But part of me is just like, when somebody can just do that and get the audience on the edge of the seat, why put yourself through the other stuff?
Yeah, exactly. That's smart. And if people want to think more into it for the move as well and understand it in a different way, it's great. Or how my finger hurts, everyone's not that. Haven't you? You know what it feels like. A finger gets trapped in a door or something. Maybe that's what it feels like. And it's when you can
that's it. You can relate to it. I think that's why it's a more genuine. Ooh.
Yeah,
you can relate to it. If somebody gets smashed on the top of the head, I'm going to be like, damn, that hurt, but I have no idea what it feels like.
Yeah.
Obviously you do, but yeah, as a fan, I'm like, but yeah, somebody snaps a finger, I'm like,
yeah,
no, don't like it. So, dude, just clock the time. Coming in at 55 minutes. It's genuinely flown by, dude. You're an Insta guy. Do you want people? Do you want to plug your Insta account where people can see you? Are you going to start uploading reels and highlights of shows when you are on them?
A bit more so, yeah. I still need to put up that little graphic I've got for Saturday. I'm not the best with my Instagram, and that's the one I use the most. So I do try to. Got a couple training videos on there, got pictures as well from Tony Knox, but that's it so far. Yeah, so we try and improve it. But
I mean, if you've got Tony taking pictures, that's awesome as well, because he's definitely the top 5 photographers in the country as well. So if you've got to take snaps, man, of you in the ring, that's just gonna make you look even more the business kind of thing. So I mean, well, okay, last thing before I'll let you go. Social media is a thing that intrigues me with you guys at the minute, because it's such you can get so many eyes on you so easily now, kind of thing. Is it something that's discussed at training? Is it something that you're encouraged to do? Is it kind of overlooked? Because for me, social media is like, you guys should be just absolutely smashing it, and getting eyes on the prize.
So I'm not too great with the social media. It's not something that I believe we've been taught in training yet. We've been told the don'ts, like, be respectful, and like what not to do on social media, like kind of beg for bookings and comments and stuff like that. I don't do that, but not how to use it to benefit you. Like you say, a lot of people can use it to kind of gain that kind of thing, but I've not clocked that yet. Maybe soon though. Hopefully I can though, because then that will help me out a bit as well.
I think that'll probably come though with bookings, with shows. When you start getting more shows, you've got stuff to promote, you've got stuff to put out there. Photos of your matches, X, Y, and Z. I think that's part of the journey, the evolution of just being in wrestling kind of thing. For me, that's how I would see it anyway. The more you're in it, the more you're doing, the more you got to post about, the more you're going to post.
Yeah, 100%. And I do need to post more, but that's the more people post, the more people see things, the more people will like it, and the more people will follow you as well. And the higher that number is, apparently, the better everything is. So
exactly, dude. That's it. Somebody sort of says, I don't know how true it is, but in their head, the reason they use social media was, if there's a spot left on the card and the promoter's looking at two guys, and they're like, well, if I use this guy, he's got 1,000 followers. This guy's got 200 followers. If I book him, that's an extra 1,000 eyes on my price, on my product.
See, I feel like I'm the example of 200 followers. So we'll try and get that over 800. I want to know where they are.
It's just an example, but like I said, I don't know if it's legit. I don't know if that's true, but that's how somebody saw it, and that's how they justified their social media kind of thing. So to me it kind of made sense, but I don't know if promoters do care. But
if you've got 1,000 followers, you must be a decent enough name that's going to attract more people to your shows. So as a booker, if that's what I'm looking at, them numbers, that'd make a lot of sense. So got to get them numbers up.
There you go, dude. Well, I'll do what I can do. Obviously, I'll tag you in everything that I do about this episode and future episodes and previous guests.
Thank you.
Do the shout outs. If people do want to follow you on Instagram, which they should do, what's the tag?
I believe it's I'm a Josh Galla. I'll get it up actually. I've got my phone here. What is it? Joshua_Sharp_Gallagher. So it's a bit of a long one. It's my actual name, my full name. A couple underscores in there. That's is that what it is?
That's fine. I will obviously tag you in all the stuff as well anyway, so you don't need to go search for it. Just click on the dude, give him a follow, keep your eyes on what he's doing, and obviously, if you wanna post it, if you wanna show anybody that's watching, go see it, go support British wrestling. Obviously, it's awesome. Dude, thank you so much for talking to me and spending literally an hour of your evening just chatting wrestling with me.
It's flown by. I've enjoyed it as well. So thank you for allowing me to be on this as well. I'm nervous coming on it, and it's good to talk about wrestling. Good to be on a show like this as well. So it's a nice experience as well. Yeah, good night. That's what it is.
Dude, so I will wrap it up there, and we'll have you on again in 6 months, 12 months time. We'll see, where everything is at this point, how many titles you've got. I want to sort of, next time I talk to you, I want there to be a belt on the wall behind you. So that'll look quite nice.
Yeah, I mean, this is my living room. I think my mum will kill me, but still.
She'll be proud. She'll ask my son's belt. That's quite a place.
Well, we'll eye up that Wrestle Island one then, See what that is. Yeah.
That's it. Right. So, dude, thank you so much. Obviously, thank you for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, share, comment, do all the generic stuff I tell you to do at the end of every episode. And we will see you again very, very soon. Josh, thank you so much. And have fun, dude.
Thank you, will do. You too.